Netherlands, Andries Noppert, previously uncapped, of course, has performed like a tournament veteran. Jurrien Timber withstands the challenge of Matthijs de Ligt in an unchanged back three. The two wing-backs, Blind and Dumfries, both scored against the USA. Between them, Frenkie de Jong wins his 50th cap, and Steven Bergwijn replaces Davy Klaassen in the attacking department, with Cody Gakpo, who scored in the first 3 games, and Memphis Depay, who scored in the 4th. The referee is a Spaniard, Antonio Mateu Lahoz, last in action 10 days ago for Iran against the USA. He has had charge of the Netherlands twice before, most recently a friendly victory over England at Wembley nearly 7 years ago. Of the starters, by the way, Ake, De Jong and Acuna would be suspended for the semi-final if booked. And the skipper's there amongst the best operators in the world in their position. One made for the number 4 shirt, the other for the number 10. The VAR also a Spaniard, Alejandro Hernandez. Well, do remember the Emi Martinez point-blank save in the final seconds against Australia, which carried Argentina through to here. Ahead of him, Lisandro Martinez makes a third centre-back. That is how they finished the last game, actually, so beyond the unchanged midfield, there is no starting place for Papu Gomez nor Angel Di Maria. Lionel Messi's 24th World Cup appearance matches Miroslav Klose. Now only Lothar Matthäus has played more. It was against the Dutch in a dead group stage rubber in Frankfurt in 2006 that Lionel Messi made his first World Cup start. He and Carlos Tevez played so that Crespo and Saviola could rest. Unthinkably, if they lose today, this could be his last dance. Cody Gakpo, a header against Senegal, left foot against Ecuador, right foot against Qatar. A perfect group stage hat-trick of sorts. So can he now land a knockout blow? Nigh on half a century since the first, here comes the 6th World Cup meeting of the Netherlands and Argentina. It has been the final, it has been the semi-final, and now for the second time it is a quarter-final. This for the right to face Croatia in the semi-final here on Tuesday. And Alan, it just feels special.
It certainly does. It's a quarter-final of the World Cup. No matter what you've done in your career thus far, some have done a lot more than others, of course, but it's still a huge occasion. Everybody desperate to do well.
Christian Romero from the right of Argentina's newly constructed back three. As mentioned, they did finish the game against Australia with that back three. Martinez, you will recall, came on for Papu Gomez then and replaces him now.
Yeah, he put in that heroic block, didn't he? Goal-saving block. He's one of those defenders that gets himself in the way in a crowded penalty area.
Okay, Blind, scorer last time out. And not put away. Gakpo trying to nick it on. Romero, Otamendi, and left of him, Lisandro Martinez.
You mentioned Daley Blind scored last time out, so did Denzel Dumfries, the two wing-backs, and that gives you an indication sometimes of where the threat comes from with the Netherlands.
Fernandez for McAllister. Here's Acuna from left wing-back, where once more he has withstood potential selectorial pressure from Nicolas Tagliafico. Romero, Messi engaged at once by De Jong, tiptoeing away from him. Romero, space ahead of McAllister. Acuna in advance of him. Alvarez through the middle. Here's Acuna.
Maybe Scaloni, the Argentine coach, picking this formation to match up with the Dutch. We'll see whether that takes away a little bit of their attacking edge. Losing an attack-minded player, of course, with this formation, but he's used to it. It's a shape that he really likes.
Unbeaten now in 19 games since coming back for his third stint as the Dutch international manager. A human being with a new perspective on life, given what he's been through this last year or two. Notably more playful, apparently more fun-loving at this competition than perhaps he has been in the past.
The players seem to love him, don't they? They really do. He's got that ability to bring everybody on board. What he asks of the players tactically sometimes can feel like really hard work, but he's one of the masters of his game.
And by the way, in 2 World Cup campaigns, the only game he has lost was by penalties against Argentina in Sao Paulo 8 years ago. Problem here for Gakpo. And indeed up against him for Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, just off the ball. Both players with their eyes on the ball and clashing heads. Quite an unusual one, that.
And the referee, having stopped the game because of a knock to the head, restarts it with a drop ball. There was no infringement per se. Timber on the right side of the Dutch back three, rather again than De Ligt. Van Dijk. Depay. Pounced upon by Molina. Gathered now by Messi. Here's Molina again. And crunched goal. It's hit the back of Alvarez, away by De Jong. And clear by Gakpo.
Yeah, it could be that kind of game for Argentina, and perhaps the Netherlands too, when they do nick it. Spring forward, try and get many support. Once they lose it, back into the shape quickly.
Romero. Well won by De Jong. Nowhere for Depay to go, and he's gone to ground on the challenge from Otamendi on halfway.
Well, you've got 3 Argentinian defenders that like to be physical, like to get tight.
Dumfries. Van Dijk. Cunha. Memphis Depay pondered chasing that. Romero. De Paul. It's a smart little ball over the top for Molina. Ake is in charge. Back by Fernandez. Up in the air by De Jong. Came down for Molina.
Yeah, Molina getting forward quite a bit in these early stages from that right wing-back position. Just looking at the Dutch attack, it looks like Cody Gakpo quite often is dropping into the number 10 position. Memphis Depay and Steven Bergwijn a little higher.
Timber. Van Dijk. De Jong. Fernandez at his back. Julian Timber. Bergwijn. He comes in place of David Klaassen in the creative department for the Dutch tonight.
Yeah, Bergwijn, he has got a good relationship with Memphis Depay. They get on well together on the pitch, on the same wavelength.
Van Dijk, Bergwijn. He just about got away with it, not Bert. Alvarez was uncomfortably close to that. De Jong. Dumfries. Bergwijn. Dumfries kept it in and made the throw his last off Acuna.
He's having a good tournament, Denzel Dumfries. Such stamina, energy up and down that flank, never stops.
Depay, nice thought. He's full of nice thoughts, Memphis Depay. He, of course, who got the breakthrough goal against the States in the last 16. Here's Messi. And once more, the progressive Molina. De Paul. Fernandes. Acuna. Martinez. Romero. Rodrigo De Paul. That's this unfussy role in the Argentina 11. The man who backs everything up. And so Fernandes. Otamendi. Romero. De Paul. Molina wide of him. Molina can whip it in towards Alvarez. Van Dijk is well stationed. It came out to Lionel Messi, and Messi found Acuna, who thrashed it across the face and beyond.
Yeah, just needed a calmer head here. They're swarming around Messi every time he gets near the ball. Looking for a bit more quality from Acuna.
How do you categorise Rodrigo De Paul and his role for Scaloni, Alan?
Well, he never gives less. No wonder the coach picks him. He never gives less than 100%. Never stops. Doesn't know the meaning of giving up. Sometimes he can lack quality in terms of his passing, but
he's been called Messi's minder, hasn't he, by some?
Yeah, and always looks for his hero, you think, really, the way he talks about him, always looking to give him the ball. But at the end of a match, he's dead on his feet most of the time.
Fernandes. Molina.
Haven't got anybody particularly to mark the main man, but Frankie de Jong's getting tight whenever he's on that side, tight quickly.
Forward by Romero. Some challenge by Ake is allowed to go. Here is Messi. Looking to spin off Timber. He yields him that free kick. De Paul. Fernandes. De Paul. Molina. Ho carries it out. Molina, McAllister. Acuna. McAllister didn't stop his run. He's gathered it adeptly. He's hoisted it back towards DePaul. And DePaul can flick it in, and Nopper can pouch it.
Yeah, Alexis McAllister, he's done well in an Argentina shirt. He's new to the scene, but settled really quickly.
Well, Romero felt that was a good clean get, but the Spanish referee was right on hand and took an alternative view.
Yeah, the fact he's dived in, I mean, he did make clean contact, but we know nowadays referees don't like that when a player is deemed out of control with that leap towards the man and ball.
Very highly esteemed referee, Antonio Mathieu Lahoth. He refereed the European Champions League final in 2021 between Manchester City and Chelsea.
Neither team in this situation is going to squeeze too much. So we've already seen a little bit of space in the middle of the park as defences drop off.
And look at that, there's nothing between them. As indeed, funnily enough, there hasn't been in each of their last two World Cup meetings. That Sao Paulo semi-final, which seemed to go on forever and a day and ended in a penalty shootout in 2014. And their previous meeting, which was in Frankfurt in 2006, a rather dull group stage meeting, which turned out to be a dead rubber. It ended in a goalless draw. They both won their two previous games, and there was precious little on it. They rotated. And it's amazing to think of this, knowing what we do now, that they rotated, enabling Lionel Messi to play. He and Tevez came in for Crespo and Saviola. And it was Messi's first World Cup start. Timber. Gakpo. Bergwijn. Memphis Depay. Depay's cross, Dumfries kept it alive. Blint is attacking it. And Molina is calm, and Fernandes can walk away from trouble.
Yeah, there's a snapshot. The two wing-backs ending up in the penalty area when they see a chance to do that. Blint and Dumfries. Haven't had many chances so far, though.
So coming into this game, it was actually 3.5 hours of World Cup football, including semi-final extra time, without a goal between these two, since one of the most beautiful goals in the history of the competition, scored by Dennis Bergkamp in searing heat in Marseille in the quarter-final of 1998. What a ball from halfway by De Boer, and two, maybe three, of the most glorious touches of a football there have ever been, from a pretty handy player in orange. De Jong. Determinedly won by Otamendi.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that type of scrapping in the middle of the park. Who's going to win those loose balls?
Memphis Depay. De Jong. De Roon. Timber. Oh, that's a smashing ball from Jurriën Timber, which certainly lit up the eyes of Steven Bergwijn.
Yeah, great idea. Just had to be perfectly weighted and just a touch heavy. Martinez reads it well.
His header came to Alvarez. It's a good reach and an important one by de Roon.
He's important, de Roon. He's a classic pick by Louis van Gaal. Unsung, but such a good breaker up of play. Gets his foot in there.
Didn't come into the starting 11 until the third group game. Retained his place for the match against the United States, though it was subbed at half-time. Interchangeable with Cope Miners. Blint. Timber. Dumfries. Bergwijn. Dumfries is quizzical.
A few words being spoken from the Argentina bench here. Di Maria.
He looks keen to be part of it again, as well he might be. Missed out on the game against Australia with a thigh problem. The supposition for many was that he would be back in the 11 tonight, Angel Di Maria. But the formational change, as much as anything else, has denied him that chance.
He has looked sharp when he's played. Might require a little bit of patience out there tonight from both sets of players.
Memphis Depay. Otamendi at his back. He's a clever little conjurer, and Otamendi had to be wary.
Yeah, might take something special out there. Both teams know how to defend. Really determined. But he's got a reputation for getting his head on the ball from these kind of corners.
First corner of the game, 20 minutes in. Cody Gakpo is in charge of it. Virgil van Dijk has marched forward for it. Memphis Depay. Cody Gakpo. Protection at the near post from Fernandes. Alvarez was hungry for it, but he's bounced back for Depay, who's exchanged with Ake. And then Molina sorts it out with De Paul. Goes Alvarez. That is classic Van Dijk, simply lengthening his stride and smoothly getting between man and ball.
Yeah, rarely finds himself out of position, Van Dijk.
De Paul, Messi, Lionel Messi, got under it.
That's a glimpse. Sidesteps a player or two. Way off with the shot, unusually for him. Bursts into life, though, within range.
Now within one World Cup goal of Gabriel Batistuta, who holds Argentina's record with 10. Gakpo. Batistuta's figures in that regard. A little plumped up by the fact that he got a couple of World Cup hat-tricks. Messi's never managed that. A hat-trick against Greece, a hat-trick against Jamaica. Batistuta. Martin de Roon, Memphis Depay. De Roon, Depay, Bergwijn, Depay, Bergwijn! Points it wide.
I think Memphis Depay wanted to take over here. And they kind of get in each other's way. Bergwijn has it.
First crack at goal from the Dutch. It's taken 24 minutes.
Yeah, two teams playing the same shape, fairly evenly matched. But he has got Lionel Messi. That may be the difference.
He was on the bench, actually, for Alex Sabella for that goalless draw against the Netherlands in Frankfurt in 2006. Fernandes. Romero. De Paul. Alvarez. Acuna. They're bundled into each other and are mutually apologetic. Argentina's support at this competition has been phenomenal. Notably, at least numerically, so far as the eye can tell, the outstandingly supported nation at this World Cup.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Amazing against Australia last time out. And Mexico.
McAllister. He was sent tumbling. Gakpo has a shifty look back.
Yeah, although the ball was there, it's a high boot. It's dangerous play, it's a free kick.
Ought to say of the Argentine support, it is, of course, largely enhanced by supporters of just one man. If you walk around the city of Doha and the environs, you will see more number 10 Messi shirts than any other. He, the individual, is the charismatic candle bearer for Argentina. Alvarez jostling with Van Dijk, but the flag's up. Ake going long. Gakpo is his target. Otamendi is bumped over.
Yeah, Gakpo, he's a man in form, got himself 3 goals. He'd be keen to try and get forward from that number 10 position as often as he can.
De Paul. Martinez failed to find Acuna, his target. Dumfries with the Dutch throw.
Not in particular hurry.
Van Dijk. Depay. Gakpo. Bergwijn. Dumfries, look at Blint again by the penalty spot. Gakpo. Gakpo's delivery. Depay was up, but so was Romero. Jerome. That's a good win by McAllister. Fernandes. Messi.
Yeah, he won it, McAllister, but he had nothing really ahead of him. Had to go sideways.
Romero onto the front foot. Molina. Rodrigo de Paul. McAllister. Enzo Fernandez. De Paul. Otamendi got it back from McAllister and kept trundling forward. De Paul. Romero. Patience in possession from Argentina.
Just try and work themselves into that final third, then change pace. Inject a bit of speed into the passing, into the movement, Argentina.
Otamendi. Squeezed out by McAllister. And Lisandro Martinez couldn't keep it in. And he's a smart pro. He wasn't going to give the ball back in a hurry, which has infuriated some. Now, Lionel Scaloni is up off the bench and has clearly said something out of place. And has been shown a yellow card.
He's got his hands full, the ref, with that Argentina bench. He had Di Maria as well, had a word with him earlier on.
Lisandro Martinez will be a very familiar figure to many of these Dutch players, having really grown up as a professional footballer at Ajax. Fernandes. Molina. Fernandes, good idea. It was spotted by Van Dijk, taken back by De Paul. And now Alvarez. Cover from Timber. Messi. McAllister. Away from Derone. De Paul. Fernandes. Molina.
Everything in front of the Netherlands team. It's hard to get around the back of this Louis van Gaal outfit.
Messi. Molina. Alvarez bounced out for Gakpo, and Bergwijn is immediately on his way, and so wide of them all is Dumfries, but it's comfortably picked off by Lisandro Martinez. McAllister. De Paul. Molina. McAllister. And De Paul with a shot that lacked vim.
I almost think McAllister thought this was Messi just coming onto the ball, because there's a chance for McAllister to have a go himself.
It wasn't an especially vivacious strike, but it was the first on target for Argentina, whose assistant coach, Walter Samuel, remember him, he was a no prisoners tackler.
Yeah.
He's in the book as well.
No stranger to yellow cards. Something he's seen didn't please him.
Memphis Depay. Seen okay by Otamendi. Here once again is Molina. Craftily taken by Messi. Wriggling away from Ake. And fiddling through a beautiful pass. It's a wonderful Argentina goal. Molina pounced. Messi cut them in half. And the rest was simple. Noel Molina with the breakthrough moment. The Albiceleste shine.
Well, it's one of the passes of the World Cup so far for Magic Man Messi. You just don't think he's got anything to go at here. Where's the gap? There it is. It's a beauty. And Molina does not disappoint. He's made so many raids down that right-hand side. This time he cuts in. It's maybe a tactic that surprised the Netherlands. Scored some goals, but this is a genius of an assist from Lionel Messi. A game that didn't offer too many threats at either end. All of a sudden, Messi comes alive, as he has done on a few occasions in this World Cup.
A goal of sumptuous geometry. Lionel Messi found an angle that did not seem to exist and set up for Molina what is his first international goal. Viewed amongst others by Mario Kempes, whose goals for Argentina against the Netherlands in Buenos Aires back in 1978 are themselves the stuff of legend. And that is the first time at World Cup 2022 that the Netherlands have trailed.
Sometimes it's difficult to pick holes in your defending, such was the brilliance of the pass. And the timing of the run as well by Molina.
Argentina ahead and Brazil have gone. A paradise day to this point for those in white and blue. Referee stopping it here because of a blow to the head. It is, I think, De Paul who is floored. Yes, it is. Jerome hard at his back.
Yeah, you would expect him to be fine. It doesn't hurt Argentina, having just scored, to have a break in play now to gather the thoughts. A little laugh tells you that he'll be okay. take a bit to get this fella to leave the pitch.
Argentina with their first World Cup goal against the Netherlands since Claudio Lopez came up with an equalizer in Marseille in the quarter-final of '98. Patrick Kluivert having scored first in that game for the Dutch. But Argentina have only ever beaten the Netherlands outright once, just once, and it was the World Cup final. Acuña's on his way. Alvarez is ahead of him. Dumfries is getting back. And in that World Cup final of '78, they did score first, Mario Kempes. The Netherlands forced extra time, courtesy of Dick Nanninga. And Kempes again, and Daniel Bertoni in extra time, enabling Daniel Passarella to lift the trophy amid the ticker tape. In the company of Tarantini and Ardiles and Luque. Alvarez. Messi. Looking to twist off Ake. Messi got a shot away when not many would.
No. Expecting him almost to stay on his left foot, but he just loses. Well, he didn't lose Ake. He only needs not even half a yard to get that shot away.
De Jong, Gakpo, Bergwijn, Blint. De Roon. Timber. Dumfries. That's a clumsy one from Fernandes. It's a Dutch free kick.
Yeah, it is a clumsy one. He's just trying to go for the ball and his man cuts across him. It's been difficult for the Netherlands to build up in open play, to cause too many problems to this Argentina defence. This might be an opportunity, though, with a good delivery.
Blint and Gakpo either side of the ball. Two-man Argentine wall. De Roon advanced, Van Dijk advanced, Ake advanced, Dumfries in the mix as well. Amid an Argentine din.
They're outnumbered in there, the Dutch lads.
Flicked in by Gakpo. Referee's seen a push and awarded a free kick.
Yep, pick the bones out of that. No, he's done it again. Made the difference yet again.
Argentina have led and lost in this competition, of course. First up here against Saudi Arabia. Never to be forgotten. Feels like a lifetime ago. It's actually less than 3 weeks. Otamendi. Molina, what a day in his life. Whatever else he does or doesn't do in his professional life, he will be able to tell his grandchildren about the day he was put in by Lionel Messi and scored in the World Cup quarter-final.
And easy to panic in those circumstances, but he kept his head, kept his cool, tucked it away really neatly.
Bergwijn, Dumfries. Possessed by Acuña. And a yellow card being shown here to Timber. Well, there's Acunha's foul.
I don't know if Timber picked the ball up before the ref had blown, or was it for that? Maybe for that.
Pushing Acunha away. And part of that dust-up involved Acunha's booking as well. And if Argentina do progress, he will be suspended for the semi-final. Warm up, Nicholas Tagliafico.
Timber saw the challenge. It wasn't the best of tackles at all by Acunha. He must know he won't be playing any part in the semi if Argentina get there.
Jeremy Frimpong amongst those having a vigorous warm-up for the Netherlands. Dumfries for now looks willing to soldier on. Bent over it, in by Gakpo. And again, very well repelled back in by Ake after Romero's defensive header.
Yeah, lovely ball in. Van Dijk lurking.
Forward again by Timber. Memphis Depay couldn't circumvent Romero, who handled it. Yeah, and he's in the book.
Knew he'd been beaten, Romero, by the little flick.
"15 love." Another offensive Dutch set piece. And once more, Blint and Gakpo. Flicked in by Gakpo. And well judged by Martinez. A few comings together.
The ball in has got to be perfect because there are more Argentina players in there than Dutch.
A few bits and pieces for Antonio Mathieu to sort out here. We're into 5 minutes of first half stoppage time.
Well, it's been a half of few chances. But the one really good one Argentina have created, they've tucked away.
For those who like these statistics, that's the 7th World Cup assist for Lionel Messi. That's still one fewer than Diego Maradona. Bergwijn, Dumfries. Tackled by Acunha. Alvarez is strong, he's having to be strong, shoulder to shoulder with Dumfries.
It was a good battle, that.
De Jong flicked tap by Alvarez.
Yeah, he was a bit frustrated, Alvarez, thinking he had been fouled by Dumfries. A few yellow cards flying about. Another sub getting one.
Weghorst has talked himself into trouble. It's as fiery and heated on the bench as it is on the grass. De Jong, Gakpo. Comfortable gather for Martinez.
Well, they've got to find the answer, the Netherlands, to find a way through to see more sight of goal than they have in this first half. Argentina defensively have been really solid.
Nicely protected by McAllister. He was nibbled at and won a free kick. Alvarez, away by Daron, De Paul, by Dumfries.
They're a team, Argentina, that's more than happy to sit there and defend. Aggressive in the play. They've got plenty of lads at the back that are natural defenders, happy to do that ugly stuff, getting tight on the men.
Memphis Depay, De Jong, two Argentine shouts of handball down there. Nothing doing, forward by Otamendi. Messi went down under challenge from Ake. De Jong, Bergwijn, Depay, Blind, Depay. Blind's return run was blocked off. He scrapes himself up off the turf with a smile. This is the moment. He'll have to share it with the skipper, who once again, from out of the mire, has found the magic. Valdano, another Argentine legend of the past, also enjoying what he has seen to this point.
Yeah, it's time for the Dutch to take stock and work out how they're going to get back into this match.
Alvarez the chaser. Van Dijk keeps it from him, and the half-time whistle goes. And on the day Brazil fell, Argentina threaten again to rise. The first half of few opportunities, but of one created magically again by Lionel Messi, who found a pass that few others would have seen and executed it immaculately, so that the fullback Molina could tiptoe through, score his first international goal and establish a lead for Argentina, which has them within reach out and touch range of another World Cup semi-final. Messi's still involved in animated conversation with officialdom. Little matter there. What concerns him most is this half-time scoreline: Netherlands 0, Argentina 1. At the Lusail Stadium, there is half-time news, and it concerns the Netherlands as they chase this World Cup quarter-final. They are being required to make a change, or perhaps choosing to make a change in their offensive department. We have seen that Steven Berghuis has been warming up vigorously and is likely to be introduced very shortly, and he is not the only one Tuin Koopmeiners is also on the point of being introduced in place of Martin de Roon. Steven Bergwijn, we've seen on the bench, wrapped up in his training top, so he is the other player to be withdrawn. Lionel Messi has proved himself again irreplaceable. Whenever Argentina have previously won a World Cup quarter-final, they have gone on also to win their semi-final and to march, therefore, into the final. That is an omen to which they will cling, if this is a lead to which they cling. It is down to those in orange to erase that lead. The Netherlands have won 3 of the last 4 World Cup ties in which they have conceded first. That is a run which encompasses a quarter-final against Brazil in 2010 in South Africa, when they were 1-0 down at half-time. A very different group of players now, but a similar task.
Yeah, some teams are less comfortable than others in defending a 1-0 lead, but you get the feeling with Argentina, this is their kind of territory. They would be more than happy just to maintain the shape, spring forward when they see fit. Let Messi and Alvarez at times just lead the line.
Otamendi, Romero, Molina, Messi, to Paul, Messi, Alvarez, Messi, Acuna, he'll settle for that. It's on free seal to corner.
Doesn't always look the most comfortable going forward, Acuna, but he's got his team a corner early on here, and they've got plenty of players that love to attack it, notably those defenders.
Messi conspiring with De Paul over by the corner flag. And Messi flings it in, and it was just nicked away from Otamendi, who had escaped his marker. Fernandes. Stay there for 3/4 of an hour if permitted.
Yeah, Frankie de Jong is an important player for the Netherlands. Now, can he get on the ball a little bit further forward than he has been able to supply the kind of pass that Messi did? He's capable of it.
Blind. Memphis Depay. Brilliantly, almost to escape from that cul-de-sac. Romero wasn't given much. Romero, by the way, is on a yellow, so needs to mind his P's and Q's in those situations. Berghuis, Dumfries. Dumfries still charging. Sandro Martinez away. Berghuis. Dumfries, Gakpo. Gakpo's made a yard. He's hung it up into the gloves of Martinez.
Yeah, he's been given a more advanced job to do, Gakpo. So I'll be happy with that, I think.
Memphis Depay, Daley Blind, Steven Berghuis, Tuin Koopmeiners, Berghuis of Ajax, skimmed out towards Dumfries. Outside tackle by Acuna. He can scurry up to halfway and beyond until Dumfries muscled his way back into contention. Messi. Feathered ball from McAllister. Okay, across to cut it out.
Whenever that ball is played forward to the Dutch front men, the likes of Romero, Otamendi, Martinez, they go all the way with the man in deep into midfield. Certainly don't allow him to receive it and turn.
Koopmeiners cut out by De Paul. Messi in advance of him. McAllister through the middle. Here is Lionel Messi. Goalkeeper came and got there first.
He just drifted out of the eye line of Nathan Ake.
Workhouse. Depay. De Jong. Gakpo. Dumfries. De Jong. Depay. Beyond De Paul, but not beyond McAllister, who has Alvarez up ahead of him. Messi here alongside him.
Does well.
Martinez. Fernandes. Argentina, you'll remember, last Saturday against Australia, found themselves in a position of apparent comfort for much of the evening. They scored actually in that game at more or less exactly the same moment as they scored in this. Then Messi scoring, this time Messi creating for Molina. By the hour mark they were 2 up and apparently cruising, only for Australia to rattle their cage a bit. But as Alan has already implied, they are arch match managers, these Argentine players. But that's a good snatch by Blint and Berghaus and Gakpo and De Jong. In by Blint, blocked by Romero.
Yeah, I think the Netherlands have looked a bit happier with the changes. And the attitude, of course, has changed a touch. A bit more urgency in the play now when they've got the ball.
Koopmeiners. Timber. Van Dijk. Berghaus. Freeze on the charge, but Alvarez was wary. Messi, De Paul nearly put in Molina. Ake across behind Messi. You
can see Argentina, they know there'll be chances on the counter. They'll pick the moments when Netherlands have committed a lot of men forward.
Van Dijk. Held on creamily by Gakpo. Timber. De Jong. Miners. One from Timber. Meat and drink for Otamendi. De Jong. Berghuis. Blint.
Got to be careful, Argentina, that they don't allow the Netherlands too much of the ball, that they don't take a step or two further back towards their own goal, invite pressure.
To Paul. Acuna. I think those seem, Alan, don't they? Very happy not to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much a team when they haven't got the ball. Work incredibly hard for each other, and it does help when you have got natural defenders in your side.
Enjoying being in their 7th World Cup quarter-final in the last 10 since the format changed, and they won it in 1986. Their 86 quarter-final, of course, one of the most famous football matches ever played against England in Mexico City. Alvarez.
Yeah, they weren't in any hurry then to go forward. Plenty of men got ahead of the ball for Argentina.
Fernandez, De Paul. So famous, that first of the string of Argentine quarter-final games, that the shirt Diego Maradona wore to play in it was very recently auctioned extremely expensively.
One of my old teammates, Steve Hodge, was the lucky man.
Had the wisdom to swap shirts and to keep the shirt for a generation or so before making plenty out of it. Berghuis. De Jong. Cope Miners. By De Paul. Messi, oh, beautifully weighted. McAllister. Alvarez is one way, De Paul is the other. This is Rodrigo De Paul for Argentina.
Oh, Alexis McAllister, too much on it.
Molina. Kept it in for De Paul. Fernandez. Otamendi. Second half, a quarter of an hour old, and still neither side has had a shot. And still neither side has had a shot. And the orange faces are turning a little grey. But where there is artistry, well, you know the source of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple pass that from McAllister, having received it from Messi. He just hits it too hard.
Alvarez, that's a very good, strong take under pressure from Timber, but it's lofted forward by Cope Miners, down by De Jong. There's Blint. Fernandez went to ground. Molina took it back. Messi with the full pirouette. And then the tasty touch, and Fernandez can play it wide here for Molina. To Paul. Messi. In his own time, when he wants. Lionel Messi driving at the heart of them. And getting tipped over to earn a free kick for Argentina in a position of great potential advantage.
Yes, still showed that little bit of acceleration over 5 yards there to win the foul. Getting ahead of Van Dijk. And what a position this is.
And behind that goal, thousands, tens of thousands in blue and white. Bow and scrape. And worship and adore. And in front of that goal, Andriy Noppert has a wall to build.
Well, you think Argentina get a second goal and the game is probably up. We saw that Luis Chavez free kick from a long way out, didn't we? And boy, did he hit it.
This is maybe 7 or 10 yards closer. Messi tends to be more finesse than force. De Paul keeps him company. It's hard to believe his role will be any more instrumental than that. Messi. Ooh. He rippled the netting from the outside.
Yeah, Noppert was just struggling to see the ball. He was always unsure which way Messi was going to go.
Some behind the goal thought he'd scored. Memphis Depay. First came Martinez. Uncertain from Otamendi. Collected by Cope Miners. Acuna. McAllister. De Paul.
Yeah, it's so precariously balanced now for the Netherlands because Argentina will get more chances. The kind that we've seen them already be presented with. It's whether they can score going the other way. Can they produce something they've struggled to do?
Up and very nearly down.
Yeah, foot low. I don't think Noppert would have got to that.
Luc de Jong is being introduced by the Dutch now. Daley Blint is withdrawn, and that fairly obviously indicates a reshuffle. Big, strong, wiry centre forward in place of the left wing back.
Yeah, Nathan Ake going to left back in a back four now.
Change of attacking approach from the Dutch, to which Lionel Scaloni must now apply his tactical brain. Here's to Paul. Fernandez. Shouted away by Van Dijk. Steered wide again for Molina. As things stand, set to be a most improbable match winner. And here is the Argentine response. It is to prepare Leandro Paredes, who started the very first game, came off around about the hour mark and has only made one substitute appearance since. Done by De Jong. It is Rodrigo de Paul who is going to be replaced after another heart and soul shift. These are the first minutes of the entire tournament that he is missing. He has played 90 minutes of the first 4 games, and in excess of an hour this time. He's much appreciated.
A bit more quality on the ball than de Paul, but you can't knock his attitude.
Caster crunching in again. Alvarez hasn't quite given this up. Slung crossfield by Berghaus. Cushioned by Gakpo for Ake.
Yeah, the Netherlands had a little flowy at the start of this second half, but it's fallen a little flat again.
Speared wide by Van Dijk. Rolled in for Cope Miners. Flicked away by Lisandro Martinez. De Jong. Behind Memphis Depay. Okay, under pressure from Messi.
When they get the ball, the Netherlands, Luke de Jong's peeling off to the far post. He'll be hoping for a bit of service. 1 or 2 balls to attack, maybe with his head. He's good in the air, Luke de Jong.
Here's Frankie de Jong. Maybe to that end, Steven Berghaus is hugging a touchline now. Seemingly operating almost as an orthodox, old-fashioned winger. Van Dijk. Timber. Here is Berghaus with Dumfries outside of him, and Berghaus can load it in, and Luke de Jong is the target. On by Paredes, back by Ake. Free kick against Cope Miners for a foul on Romero. Well, that would be the creative change Argentina would make, should they feel the need. Angel Di Maria is more than handy one to have up their sleeve. Acuna.
Alvarez he still seems to have plenty of energy in those legs. A really good run and hold-up play by him. Get him up the pitch.
Molina. Fernandez. Shaped in towards Molina. Crashed out by Van Dijk, who now sees a flag that his face suggests he would prefer to have seen earlier. But here's McAllister. Acuna. Driving beyond Dumfries, who challenged. Penalty. Acuna still writhing. Dumfries glaring.
Well, he catches him. I don't think VAR's going to change the ref's mind there. Certainly in the box. Clever bit of footwork from the wing-back.
Well, the Spanish referee is drowning in orange there. He is surrounded by it. Finger to his ear, acknowledging that VAR has a say. As, once again, Lionel Messi composes himself. Not quite immaculate from the spot. Not even immaculate from the spot at this tournament. But there is no other credible candidate when there is him.
Frenkie de Jong just telling his keeper where Messi's going to put it.
Lionel Messi reaches out for more history as Argentina reach out for the World Cup semi-finals. He has a dream to fulfill. They have a dream to fulfill. Step by step, they draw closer to the ultimate fulfillment.
Well, made one, scored one. He's been at the centre of things yet again. Dumfries getting sucked into the challenge. It was a foul. And who do you want at this kind of moment when the heat's on? Yeah, he's missed one, but never looked likely here. He kind of flat-footed Andries Nobet. Keeper didn't really know what to do. And with the subs, the whole of the Argentina bench rushing across, they feel it's all over, as do the fans probably.
Lionel Messi's 10th World Cup goal to draw level with Argentina's, until now, record holder Gabriel Batistuta. De Jong going nose-to-nose with Martinez. Dutch noses have been put out of joint.
But does Martinez, the keeper, not want anybody to challenge him? They've just gone 2 goals down. What's he expecting?
Just need to explain to you that there's a stoppage in the game here, which has nothing to do with the action on the field, but a spectator who is seeking to interfere and is being dealt with out of your sight.
Well, Luke de Jong didn't do anything wrong there when the ball came in, nothing wrong at all. He's got to go for it. They need something, and they need something quickly, the Netherlands. They've been denied by, I think, what has been the best defensive performance we've seen in this World Cup so far by Argentina. They just haven't been able to find an answer, the Netherlands.
And there are going to be here, once this flurry is sorted out, 2 Argentine defensive changes. We're going to see Germán Petzela and Nicolas Tagliafico very shortly. And what has been, to this point, quite a night for Argentina's full-backs. Here's Gakpo. He has stumbled under challenge. The referee got to the scene of the would-be crime pretty quickly, but found that, as it turned out, no crime had been committed.
It was a nice pass by Memphis Depay. We haven't seen many of those tonight.
Timber. Cunha's gone over, Messi's gone over. Van Dijk is steaming.
Yeah, there's every chance this contest could overheat in the time we got left.
A card for Martinez, as you saw. It is a change at wing-back. Cunha, having won the penalty, now departs. And as previously mentioned, Tagliafico is, in effect, his understudy in that position. That one comes as no surprise. And Christian Romero, also perhaps pertinently, also on a yellow card, is giving way in the back line to Germán Petzela of Real Betis, for whom this is a second appearance at the tournament, both from the bench. And a change up top for the Netherlands too, as Wout Weghorst is introduced in place of Memphis Depay. And that, again, is a pretty straightforward, go for it, hell for leather change.
Yeah. A couple of orthodox centre-forwards, if you like, now for the Netherlands. Luke de Jong and Weghorst. Got to get that ball in the box if they possibly can now.
Gakpo, de Jong, thumped away by McAllister. Dumfries posted up towards de Jong.
There'll be a bit more of that, long balls from back to front. Give a different sort of problem to the Argentina defenders. Weghorst using his muscle.
Incidentally, it may very well not turn out to be relevant, but it is worth reminding ourselves that Wout Weghorst was booked in the first half before he came on, so Bear that in mind when those muscular challenges start occurring. There he is, Weghorst. Martinez, cleared by Otamendi. Beautifully kept by Messi. Sifted through for McAllister. And Alvarez. Looped up kindly for Noppert. Nathan Ake for what has become in effect for the Dutch now a 4-2-4. Gakpo on one wing and Berghuis on the other, and two big strikers between them. Gakpo couldn't progress, but the challenge from Paredes has been pulled up by the referee.
It's another one of those, diving into the challenge. No holds barred there.
Julian Alvarez being removed by Argentina to another very warm ovation, to be replaced by Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, he's been a willing runner. Alvarez done a lot of good work, chasing balls, holding things up.
Martinez yet to score at the competition. He's had his nearly moments. He's been denied by the offside flag on occasion. Gakpo's free kick. Argentina have everyone bar Messi behind the ball. And Messi now can chase it. Frankie de Jong keeps it from him. Noppert. Koopmeiners. Slung in by Berghuis, out by Otamendi. Koopmeiners. Berghuis. Weghorst! The Dutch have dug back in! Still retrievable.
Well, they've switched to simple, straightforward football. Get the ball in the box and get it in early to those two centre forwards. That is not an easy header, but Weghorst executes it brilliantly to give his team a sniff of a chance here. This should be some finish to the match.
The Netherlands have set up here a potential grandstand finish with their first shot on target in the game, their first attempt on target, and it was an attempt that proved fruitful. A proper orthodox centre-forwards header. Since when has Argentina kicked back off?
Well,
he's gone charging into Messi.
You mentioned it, Peter. He'd already been booked on the bench. No, they cannot afford to go down to 10 men.
And of course, VAR cannot instruct the referee on a yellow card offence, even if it's a second yellow. So unless they felt that that charge on Messi was in itself a sending off offence, VAR would not have become involved. And it wasn't.
Well, they've found the way forward, the Netherlands. Nothing complicated in it. Try and feed the wide men. Good quality into the box.
Van Dijk, Gakpo. Thrust up towards de Jong. Berghuis! Oh, he gave that plenty.
Fell perfectly onto that powerful left foot of his.
And he's got a corner. Suddenly, it's an entirely different game. And jeopardy that seemed to have vanished is right back in the thick of it. And Berghuis flings it in, and De Jong is up. Koopmeiners. A climax befitting of the tradition of this evocative World Cup fixture, which goes back very nearly 50 years. Began with a couple of goals from Johan Cruyff in 1974. Koopmeiners. Thrust up towards De Jong, who wins his header towards Weghorst. Scraped away by Tagliafico.
They've been so secure at the back, Argentina, so strong, so stubborn, but now it's a different matter. It's about winning those high balls in.
Tagliafico, of course, the left-back here, the new left-back, another very well-versed in Dutch football. He, too, came through the academy that is Ajax of Amsterdam. Played a part with that club in a truly uplifting Champions League run 3 or 4 years back. Van Dijk. Out by Otamendi. Van Dijk again. De Jong. Urgent, scurrying, but he's given it away. And this is Lautaro Martinez and Messi. Dispossessed by Ake, fouled by Berghuis, who goes into the book.
Be careful. The ref will get a red card out in a minute, but still time for the Netherlands. Still time, still a chance. Bit of miscontrol for Messi. Kind of runs into Berghuis.
Okay, thumping into the back of Messi. Otamendi. Taken back by De Jong. Ake goes crashing over the out-rushing Argentine. Leandro Paredes, who himself clouted the ball at the bench. And there was a wave of Dutch orange as they rose as one to confront him.
It's been simmering, hasn't it? Tempers. It's getting heated, and when you smash the ball into the dugout like that, in these circumstances, the reaction from those subs is inevitable.
And so the Spanish official seeks resolution and peace. He books Paredes for that unnecessarily aggressive clearance.
The tackle wasn't great either.
Yes, of course, the bookings for the tackle. Fortunately, the clearance was against a chair and not a human being. Hoisted in by Berghuis. Martinez wasn't sure. Dumfries was arriving on the scene, but couldn't make anything of it.
Not the worst ball in the world, that. Martinez couldn't come for it. touch long.
Now the next huge piece of information here will be the number on the fourth official's board. And I have a feeling that number may be pretty big. The word is 10. It's 10.
It's tin hat time for Argentina. You'd imagine they're going to be bombarded.
See a red 10 go up, you think he's taking Messi off. Not so. We've got a 100-minute game here. Won by De Jong. Gakpo.
Well, here we go.
He's got a free kick. Now, there's a few candidates here. And if you pick the ball up and put it down again as a Dutchman, you probably put it down round about here.
Yes. I mean, they've hardly had a sniff for 9/10 of this match, the Netherlands. They just haven't been able to create much at all. But desperation was forced into the game, and it's given them a chink of daylight.
See that Virgil van Dijk has seen a yellow card. So Koopmeiners behind it, Gakpo behind it. And Berghuis, as you might expect. Cody Gakpo from one side, Steven Berghuis from the other. Berghuis booms it into the wall.
Wolves stood strong, did the job, jumped.
Hoisted in by Koopmeiners. Up into the air by McAllister. Referee's had to stop it again. And he's indicating, don't worry, he'll add on the time. And Sandro Martinez on the receiving end from his own man, Otamendi.
Berghuis hit that one. Lovely angle to see it as well.
With, as they say, quite a nice little bit of swaz. Confirmation of Van Dijk's booking. Momentary relief for Martinez as he clears long. Lautaro Martinez was his target. Fernandes got a foot in.
Free kick anywhere on the pitch gives them a chance to launch a long one, which they don't do.
Noppert.
Weghorst is calling for it, arms aloft.
On from Noppert, on by De Jong. There's Weghorst, here is Gakpo. He'll take a throw if offered. Paredes wasn't keen to offer it. Weghorst did well to keep it. Timber, Koopmeiners. Berghaus, Julian Timber. Lifted up towards Van Dijk, nudged on past Ake here for Gakpo. And Gakpo loads it in. Away by Otamendi, one back by Van Dijk. Whistle is gone.
Yeah, there's a foul in that.
It's a massively physical game now.
It is. Luke de Jong on that occasion. Foul on Otamendi. Another 5 minutes, though.
5 minutes of stoppage time played. 5 at least still to play. No need yet for Di Maria. He is just one of them for now. Inside, he too sings and dances. He too feels the anxiety of a slender lead. He too is tantalised by the prospect of a World Cup semi-final. Argentina are close, but not quite yet there. Forward and out by Paredes. Dumfries with the throw, back by Paredes. Nudged on by Messi, taken up by Lautaro Martinez. Back to his goalkeeper by Timber. Ake can't get there, Gakpo can.
He's done well, Weghorst, coming on really well.
Cope Miners up towards De Jong, whose header is helping no one.
Yeah, I don't know what he had in mind there.
Has been an admirable campaign for Louis van Gaal. Colourfully and vivaciously supported by the Orange Army. But say again, this is the day Brazil went out. And if Argentina couple that outcome with this outcome, that becomes their perfect day.
This would be some comeback by the Netherlands, really would.
Smashed forward by Dumfries. Away by Martinez. Berghaus has to chisel a yard out of which to cross. He can't do it. Paredes. He's fouled, and that'll do just nicely. He punches the air at the award of that free kick.
No surprise, they're taking the time here.
And whenever Argentina have won their quarter-final, they have won their semi-final as well. A semi-final against Croatia awaits in this stadium on Tuesday. And even the greats of the past are screaming the side on. Cambiasso there I saw. Zanetti.
Still a bit of work to do, though.
Cope Miners. Down by Van Dijk. On by Ake. Chased by Gakpo. And hoisted into the stand. Frenkie de Jong. Seconds are running out. Up into the air by Paredes. Oh, that looks like a foul. That is going to be a free kick.
Oh, what a silly challenge. What a silly challenge.
In minute 100.
Clumsy.
Petzela the offender. They have had one rehearsal from just about the same spot.
Well, this could be their last chance.
This is the game. Turn, Cope Miners, Cody Gakpo. Noppert on the edge of tears. Netherlands on the edge of elimination. One kick of the ball as the 99th minute ticks into the 100th and the 100th into the 101st. Messi is in the book. Eyes on the prize, and the prize is big. To stay alive. This is it. Coat Miners, smart, too true, extraordinary, 101 minutes! Wout Weghorst, and the immediate future is still orange.
That is incredible. The whole stadium expected a shot. What a free kick that was. It caught Argentina completely by surprise. And the striker that's done so well since coming on showed nimble, neat footwork there when it mattered most. What about this? Oh, brilliant from the Netherlands, brilliant from Weghorst.
And we stare down the barrel of extra time. An equalizer from Wout Weghorst in borrowed time at the end of stoppage time. And they're not going home.
I'll be looking back at that silly challenge on the edge of the box. Weghorst.
Wout Weghorst, who scored 3 goals in his first 18 caps for the Netherlands, has scored 2 in just more than 20 minutes tonight. And here's Messi. And he was fuming. That's it for now, but of course there will be more. There will be half an hour more. There could be penalties even beyond that. In the moment, there are frayed tempers. There is fury on one side, frenzied thrill on the other. There is confrontation, pushing and shoving, tetchiness. And on Wout Weghorst's face is emblazoned the wide-eyed thrill of a man who is having the night of his life and who has kept the Netherlands, for now at least, for another half hour at least, in the World Cup. At the end of 90 minutes, frankly, way more than 90, the score at Lusail, Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Two almost entirely different casts here. As the Dutch gets us rolling again with Frankie de Jong. And the point, Alan, you were making during that break is an interesting one, suggesting that they must stick, of course, to the formula that got them back into the game. But I wonder whether now they are back on level terms.
Yeah.
You know, the mindset might be to switch away again from that kind of gung-ho approach.
Well, yeah, desperation forced that approach, didn't it? But when you've got Weghorst and Luc de Jong up top, why not keep getting the ball to them early in the air, because it was so difficult for Argentina to cope with that. I mean, Weghorst, such a huge figure.
Lisandro Martinez, Tagliafico's having a dash. Across comes Timber. We've got a touch. And he yielded a relatively cheap throw. McAllister. Otamendi. Petzela, who gave away the free kick on 100 minutes or so. Paredes. Tagliafico.
Everybody down there needs a breather, those players on both sides. This first half of extra time might be a bit slower than the last 10 minutes of the 90.
Fernandez gets tipped up. This is a deep psychological dig for Argentina's players in particular. So nearly there, but not quite yet. Otamendi's booking is confirmed.
It's been a busy all night for the ref. He's needed all his experience out there.
In total, 11 yellow cards have been shown. I believe that there are 8 players currently on the field who have been shown a yellow card. Fernandez, Messi, Tagliafico, Fernandez, nudged back by De Jong.
Even Messi out there has got overheated, hasn't he? Been barking at the ref. Cool play by Frenkie de Jong, this.
De Jong has gone to ground. And the Netherlands have a free kick. Paredes too tight. Nathan Ake. Slung in towards Berghaus, and Martinez for a moment wasn't so sure.
Yeah, he thought about having a touch on this. Martinez didn't need to in the end.
Netherlands, by the way, prior to this have played 6 periods of World Cup extra time. And extraordinary, they have never scored a goal during any of those periods. That includes 2 finals, the 1978 final against Argentina, the 2010 final against Spain. Extra time hasn't been their friend. They've gone on to 3 shootouts, of which they have won just 1. The quarterfinal against Costa Rica in Brazil. Salvador, an occasion when, you may recall, Louis van Gaal made headlines by changing his goalkeeper in time for the shootout. Otamendi.
It's not quite as gung-ho for the Netherlands as it was at the end of the 90, but the second half of extra time might be Slightly different from the first.
Martinez. Paredes. Otamendi. McAllister. Fernandez.
Maybe the calm we're seeing here before the storm.
Fernandez. Meat in a sandwich. Argentina's record in extra time is pretty good. They've required 9 periods of extra time in World Cup history. They have gone on to win outright or on penalties on 7 of those 9 occasions. Their only defeats coming in the 2006 quarter-final when they lost to Germany in Berlin on penalties. And of course more recently even than that, the 2014 final when Mario Götze's goal in the second period of extra time denied them the trophy. Messi. Fernandez. Molina. McAllister. Messi. Good reach by Ake. Here's Berghaus. Luke de Jong's gone ahead of him. It's a good ball from Berghaus. Weghorst in the middle. Frankie de Jong. Luke de Jong. Otamendi had hold of him.
Yeah, gets a well done by Frankie de Jong. Nice turn. Another chance to feed the big lads in the box.
So which trick do they have up their sleeve now? By Berghaus. Out as far as Frankie de Jong. A little bit too much enthusiasm from Denzel Dumfries. Holding off Lautaro Martinez. McAllister. Paredes.
It's all going on out there. The ref's seen that little clash, I think.
And he's brought it back. There could be trouble here. Julian Timber is himself going down, implying that he was as much on the receiving end as he was the giver. Timber's on a yellow. He wants to stay out of the referee's eye line.
Yeah, I don't think there's much there to get too dramatic about. And the ref doing well.
Linking it back. Flicked in by Messi, out by Timber. Paredes. Messi. Messi delivers once more, and this time harmlessly.
Almost in shock, weren't they, the Argentina players and the coach? Thought they'd won it. Sometimes it's hard to knuckle back down and rediscover your rhythm.
On by Weghorst. De Jong crunched off it. Otamendi, who's had a really enthusiastic game. Tagliafico. Forced back by Weghorst. Kept it for McAllister. In nibbles Dumfries. Paredes. Petzela. Paredes. Now Toro Martinez. Timber too tight again. And they've got on with the free kick more quickly than the referee is prepared to permit.
Yeah, players are going down, trying to win free kicks.
It's Messi. And the penultimate minute of the first half of extra time.
Yeah, awkward little distance this. It just requires a gentle dink.
Messi lifts it in, and Otamendi was stretching.
Nothing wrong with the dink. It was there to go for.
It's on beyond Luke de Jong.
Not surprising, really. This first half of extra time has just been a bit of a joust. Things have cooled down a touch.
De Jong. Gakpo. Half-time, extra time, no addition. Truth be told, very little threat of any addition. And so we are separated from penalties now by just 15 minutes more of football. A summary again, a summary that mirrors only that which you heard a quarter of an hour ago. Molina 1-0 Argentina. Messi from the spot, 2-0 Argentina. They were nearly there. Weghorst, though, 82, 1-2. Weghorst, 101, 2-2. And it is still the Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Argentina are removing the scorer of their opening goal, Noel Molina. He has been interchangeable at right full-back with Gonzalo Montiel. And Montiel replaces him. In Doha, the time is 25 minutes past midnight. We are now into the 10th of December. When the world woke up on the 9th of December, it assumed, I think, in large part, that it was going to get itself a Brazil-Argentina World Cup semi-final by the end of the day. Netherlands against Croatia is still a distinct possibility. Messi. Montiel. Well, he's fortunate that his first movement was an inadvertent slip that drew Gakpo into the challenge that yielded a corner. And Messi is going to take that corner. And Lautaro Martinez's nearest goal. Flicked in by Messi, and well-pouched second time by Noppert.
Yeah, it does well, the keeper. Not an easy one to catch, with bodies bearing down on you. Easy to take your eye off the ball.
Well won by Weghorst. Lisandro Martinez. That's another go. Tagliafico. No route past Dumfries. Weghorst, Gakpo. Otamendi, De Jong is pestering him. And the flag's up. Mass Argentine supporters refound its collective voice. They're bouncing again and singing again and hoping again. "42 fouls in the game."
Yeah, that whistle of the refs must be read up.
Petzela, who committed perhaps the most significant of them all. Paredes, Lautaro Martinez. Forward by Paredes. Noppert, in the end, had to clout it into the stand. Montiel's throw. Messi. Tripped by Gakpo. A yellow card for Montiel, I believe, presumably for something he whispered without much love in the ear of the referee. And that, if they get through, has got him a suspension which he will rue.
He's only just come on the pitch, hasn't he? There's been plenty of back chat to the ref tonight.
Paredes for Messi. Messi to wriggle. And Messi to shoot high and wide. Very worth thinking about, hardly worthy of consideration, but if they go out, this could be his last World Cup dance. In steps Timber. Taken back by Paredes. He's tripped on halfway.
Now the foul count increases. Every other challenge, it seems, ends up with the whistle blowing. Not all of them are fouls.
Well, Angel Di Maria, you would think, is a pretty obvious penalty taker. He's been given more than just penalties. His parents are here. Oh, who would be the mum and dad? Oh, that's a lovely nudge back. Taken up by Lautaro Martinez. And in order to introduce their mercurial, sometimes magical passer, Argentina are sacrificing a defender. Lisandro Martinez gives way to Angel Di Maria.
Well, positive move to try and avoid penalties.
Here, though, is Gakpo. Petzella's challenge is worthy of a yellow card, as those around him suggest strongly to the referee that he took the ball.
I mean, I don't think it's a yellow card, but it's been that kind of match.
Berghuis could from here. Gakpo could from here.
Keeping a high line, Argentina.
Gakpo lifts it in. De Jong! De Jong! Neither time. He's penalised.
It was floating towards him so invitingly. An important block that was.
Fernandez in the way of the first. More than one in the way of the second, and Gakpo is now done for the night. Noah Lang is on in his stead. A young man who may not get many kicks of the ball, but when he gets one on what is his World Cup debut, it could be a massive one. Okay. Di Maria, Messi. Fernandez. Lautaro Martinez. Montiel's on the dash. Di Maria for the first time. Fernandez. He's got a yard. In by Fernandez and crashed wide by Lautaro Martinez. There's a Dutch body in the way there.
There was a vital Dutch body. Well, it's hit him. It's hit Van Dijk. Was that on target?
I think it might have been. Di Maria to take. Otamendi amongst those to attack. In by Di Maria. Cope Miner's got some of it. Van Dijk got all of it. Montiel. Di Maria drifting away from Ake. Montiel, corner.
Stepped it up, Argentina, haven't they? Still waiting for the Netherlands to revert to type with those long balls into the box, given half a chance.
Here's Messi. Fernandez, deflection! And it loops up over and behind.
Yeah, Noppert was on the ground, had to get up quickly.
It feels like one last Argentine power play, this. Di Maria with outswing, Petzela was up. Came out to Paredes. Di Maria once more, it bounces behind for another corner. Lang was the impediment. Angel Di Maria, Petzela!
Well, he attacked this one with some force, headed it with some force. A little shove in the back, making it a bit more difficult perhaps, but Argentina looking the side more likely. Doing all the pushing at the moment. And the Dutch skipper gets himself in the way.
The free kick against Luc de Jong. Argentina, the evidence suggests, are the ones who don't want penalties here. Paredes, McAllister, Lautaro Martinez. Daintily done by Timber. Here's Luc de Jong. Chased up by Noah Lang. It's Lang's cross, and it's picked off by Martinez, with Berghaus ghosting in behind.
Yeah, read it, didn't he? Read it well, the keeper. Off his line quickly.
Paredes for Fernandez. 2.5 minutes to play. Messi. Drifting away from de Jong. Messi driving at them. Tagliafico. McAllister. Tagliafico. Alexis McAllister. Nicolas Otamendi. Montiel. Fernandez. Messi. Di Maria. Messi. There was no way through. Paredes couldn't take it. De Jong does take it. Berghaus can have a run here. And Berghaus is clear. It's Steven Berghaus. And again, Martinez can collect. And again, he gets rid in a hurry.
They haven't had much of the ball. The Netherlands in second half of extra time. Argentina have done well.
Di Maria. On by Montiel. Lautaro Martinez! Pummeled away by Noppert. .70 Fernandez. Paredes, Messi, Di Maria. Poked out by Ake. Di Maria. McAllister, Otamendi, Paredes. Here's Messi, here's Messi! He's got a corner. .15 seconds to play. Perhaps the last act. In by Di Maria. And touched up twitchily by Noppert.
That's a cheeky effort from Di Maria, I think. Looked intentional to me, that. Maybe catch the keeper unawares.
Messi. Fernandez has hit the post. Oh, wow. What a pure strike of the football.
Well, Noppet was nowhere near this. Always drifting away.
And you know what that means. 1 minute added on, half of that minute has passed.
Well, looks like he, Noppet, Martinez at the other end are going to play huge parts now.
An epic whose denouement is still to come. Argentina were nearly there. Messi from the spot had taken them to the very edge of the semi-final. And yet he must tread to the spot again, because Wout Weghorst off the bench dragged the Netherlands back into it with almost the last kick of an extended normal time period. No addition in extra time, and so we head to penalties with the scoreline at the Lusail still reading Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Virgil van Dijk leading from the front for the Netherlands. As imposing, as seemingly self-certain a footballer as there is on the planet. You believe in him. Oh, great save. That is a great save from Emi Martinez. Van Dijk gave it a thump. And Martinez had a journey to make.
Yeah, it's the kind of situation, you know, I think Martinez, he is of a character that this suits him in the limelight.
Lionel Messi, 8 years ago in Sao Paulo, stepped up first against the Netherlands and scored and sent them on their way. From the spot, he has already succeeded once tonight. Obliged so to do again. A nation on his shoulders. And Messi answers the call with extreme cool.
Incredible. Advantage, Argentina. Not many would have the bottle to do that.
Next up for the Dutch, substitute Steven Berghuis.
Well, he's done well when he came on. Had a big impact.
There's a lovely purity about this man's left boot. Berghuis. Oh, another great get by Martinez. Why wouldn't he dance? Spring-heeled, heroic.
Absolutely superb. He knows it. He's never been short of confidence, this lad, and that confidence is coming to the fore here. But it's a full stretch. There's an element to good fortune in which way do you gamble, but what a save.
Leandro Paredes for Argentina to establish a 2-goal cushion with 3 each to take. Paredes thumps it and means it. And Argentina are nearly there. For the second time on the night, they lead by 2.
Well, that is a brilliantly struck penalty. Takes courage to find the corner like that. This surely has to go in.
Turn Cope Miners face to face with obligation. It's a belter, and the light is not yet out on the Netherlands.
Well, it's Noppert's time now to be the hero between the sticks.
We have yet another substitute stepping up here for Argentina, Gonzalo Montiel. To take them to match point.
Well, he's 6'8", Noppert, so if he guesses right, there's every chance he could save it.
Montiel, beauty. Beauty, they're on the cusp. They're welling up. They're boiling up.
Penalties have been superb for Argentina.
And now, Wout Weghorst, without whose superhuman intervention this tie would have been decided long, long ago, must score to extend it further. And Weghorst does score.
Well played.
And so this becomes the one.
A little bit of aggro.
And to take what could be the telling penalty for Argentina, the man who in the final seconds of the game, Enzo Fernandez, struck the base of the post. Enzo Fernandez has dragged it wide, and the drama drags on.
Would you believe it? He's only 21. Enzo Fernandez, as talented as he is. But the enormity of the occasion maybe just got to him there.
So, Luke de Jong is the latest for whom scoring is compulsory. Compelled. De Jong rolls it in with poise. But still, the Argentines have one in hand, and this is it.
Well, are we going to see another comeback from 2 goals down?
Lautaro Martinez has yet to score in the World Cup for Argentina. A yellow card has just been shown. That is of little interest. This is the kick of the ball. The 10th penalty of 10.
Well, Noppert doing all that he can in goal to put off his man.
A night that has gone on forever. That will be remembered forever. An epic. Lautaro Martinez. Argentina march on! They won it once, and then from the spot, they won it all over again. It was not his last dance. He will jump and jig jollily into the semi-final. Messi's still alive. Argentina still alive. The Dutch dumbfounded, confounded, and heading home.
Yeah. And there's not much shaking of hands down there. There's plenty of pushing and shoving, players having to be separated. But Messi's men have got themselves through.
Argentina against Croatia in the World Cup semi-final here at Lusail on Tuesday. Nathan Ake's vacant stare, Wout Weghorst's overt sobbing indicate the weight of the sadness.
Yeah, such a valiant effort from the Netherlands, such a great comeback. But Emi Martinez, what a hero for his country.
They said a prayer. Together they said a prayer, and the prayer was answered. Kempes from 78. And now in 2022, he celebrates his successes. Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Argentina have it on penalties by 4-3.